Connie, hey everyone. Just want to introduce Connie and
Welcome.
Andrew.
Yes. Welcome to the Trust Frequency Embodied. We are doing assumption number 7, which is there is only now, this precious present moment. And I'm Connie Baxter Marlow.
I'm Andrew Cameron Bailey.
And Wowza Elisa Lodge is with us.
Hello, Wowza.
And Andrew will be doing a meditation. Andrew and I will be doing a little information for our minds, Andrew's meditation for our hearts, and Wowza will be bringing in an embodiment practice to bring us all into coherence, our mind, body, and spirit. So, Andrew, would you like to start? And would everybody mute themselves so that Andrew can do his meditation and we can all join in? So that's great. Let's do that.
Welcome, everybody. What a treat. We are checking in from high in the Rocky Mountains, and it's stormy and beautiful here. And today's journey, I like to think of these as shamanic journeys as opposed to a meditation, but of course they cross over. There is no real hard distinction between them. We're going to go into the experience of being in the now, in the present moment, what we like to call this precious present moment. It has never happened before. It will never happen again. It's absolutely unique and absolutely precious. So if you would just sit as comfortably as is possible with your spine erect, and close your eyes and become aware of your breathing, and allow your breathing just to settle down. Let go of the busyness of the day, of the busyness of the world out there, and all of the stuff that has happened in the past to you and to the rest of humanity. Let it go. It'll still be there when we come back. And all of the plans and ideas and projects for the future, let them go. They'll still be here when you come back, because one of the remarkable things about this present moment is that it's always here and it's always now. And yet, I suspect that most of us spend an awful lot of our time in the past, perhaps feeling nostalgia for something, or regret for something, or desire for something in the past that is no longer here and now. And if we're not in the past, then we're very likely in the future with our desires, our hopes, our projects. And we're not going to be in either of those two places now, because if we are in the past or in the future, we are by definition not in the present moment. So today's practice is simply to be here now in this precious present moment, and to feel what that means, what that is. What is the experience of being totally focused on this present moment? Just be aware of each breath as it enters your body, the sound of it, the feeling of the air entering your lungs. And the exhalation. It's one of the best ways to get into the present moment, because if you are focused on this breath, it's the only breath there is. We are here and now. Notice the next breath. Inhale gently. Notice how the previous breath has gone completely, as has every breath we have taken in the past. Inhale. And exhale. And let's sit in this precious present moment together for a few minutes of silence in a resonant field composed of this beautiful group of people. This precious present moment where we have come together into a resonant field, a group consciousness. Some of us are in Europe, some of us are in America. It doesn't matter where we are. There is no time, there is no space. We are simply consciousness resonating together. I don't know about you, I find that to be an extraordinary thing. And I'd like to close this meditation by pointing out that the present moment, the now, is the portal, is the gateway to the trust frequency. Because all of those things that prevent us from being in the trust frequency, that distract us, are not here now, are they? And when you're ready, come back into this beautiful body. Take a deep, cleansing inhalation. and let it go. And I thank you for joining me on this beautiful journey. Let's open our eyes and be together. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a beautiful journey into the now. Whoa. So now we'll give a little information about this assumption. There is only now, the precious present moment. And one thing that's quite exciting about these times, and I saw it long ago, that we're moving from our memory mind into our intuitive mind. And I watched this unfold over the past many years. When I asked Spirit, how are we going to get to this place that I'd been shown, this place of peace on earth and heaven on earth? How are we going to get there? And my daughter said to me one day, she said, Mom, what would happen if we all got amnesia? And I said, my goodness, that's it. She was answering my question. This is how the universe works. The loving universe, the conscious loving universe answers our questions. So what I say is the answers you get depend upon the questions you ask. And I asked, how is it going to happen in a loving way? And I've since been watching, and I'm sure you've all, maybe the young people here, but people my age and younger, even it happens to young people. And that's what showed me actually, that it didn't have to do with age. Because a friend of my daughter's another daughter came over, and when she said, you know what happened? I was in the middle of a fight with my mother and I forgot what I was angry about. Okay? So it has not to do with age. We are moving out of those memories. They're an intrinsic part of us, but we're moving into that intuitive piece of us that can access the unified field and go beyond our individual memories into the collective memories, into a whole nother way of being. So we can get into the now. If we can't remember what we did yesterday and we can't remember what we're supposed to do tomorrow, where are we? We're in the now. It's a beautiful place to be because you intuitively do what you're supposed to do. Automatically, you just end up writing that letter or finishing that book or whatever it is, because it's your evolutionary urge to do that. And you don't have to worry about when and how and what and all that stuff, because you're hooked up to that unified field that wants that book, wants that song, wants that practice from you, that gift from you. So that's our gift today in the seventh assumption. There is only now, this precious present moment. And when one trusts the conscious loving universe, one moves out of all those societal expectations that drive us and drive our decisions on a day-to-day basis, an hour-by-hour basis. So we move into total trust that the unknown, where we're moving into this unknown because we're let go of the past and the future. We're in the unknown, but we trust the unknown. We trust our heart. We walk forward. We trust circumstance. is telling us what to do. And we take that bold, committed action. And the magic unfolds for us. Andrew and I have been living this for decades. And it takes a lot of courage to do that. And people will wonder who you are, what you're doing, what can possibly this person be doing, and what's driving this person to do this bizarre, make these bizarre decisions. I let my son drop out of first grade because I knew there was a loving universe that was awaiting his gift. Whatever gift he promised to bring to this party, the loving universe was going to chase him around with a silver platter with the experiences he needed to become that gift. And I had to trust to the nth degree because it was my son's life on the line. And 30 years later, 27 years later, this boy is a flourishing creative photographer in Los Angeles, a rising star photographer. So that trust, that knowing, that letting go, let me make a decision to support him in his choices at age 7. So that's a little bit from me. Do you want to add anything? And then we'll go on to Wowza, Elisa Lodge.
What I'd like to do is actually to put this into the context of this entire series. So we're in the middle, we're just beyond we're sort of over the hump and just beyond the middle of something we call the 10 assumptions or 10 assumptions for a new paradigm. So we opened with an introduction, we'll get to the 10th assumption, and we'll close with a conclusion. And here we are at assumption number 7. And each of these assumptions, just to, as I said, to put this in context, we're constructing an entire reality, an entire worldview that we are offering to you. It's the best we could come up with. We published this book back in 2012, and it's holding up really well. People we really respect are giving us the most amazing testimonials now in 2020. That's pretty amazing. That was 8 years ago. Wow, I can't believe it. So, point being, we're building something here. And if we take this seriously, as Connie asked all of us to do at the very beginning, to take each one of these assumptions as absolutely true and just try it on for this period of time. Just take it and use it as your reality, as your lens, as the lens through which you perceive reality. Because as we've discussed last week and the week before, we actually create reality with the power of our consciousness. And one of the tools in the toolkit is the ability to be in this present moment. It's one of the most critical ones and one of the rarest things. Most people, as I'm sure most of you agree, tend to be somewhere else entirely than right here, right now. And here we are, right here, right now.
Thank you, Andrew. That's a great addition to my gifts in this hour. And what we'll leave you with is trust as an acronym for truly.
T-R-U-S-T.
T-R-U-S-T. Truly rely upon spirit timing. How about that? That's a
what
good
trust
one.
means. Truly rely upon spirit's timing. Did they, when they made up the word, was that the secret message program in there?
And this also is, this whole trust frequency construct is an indigenous cosmology quantum science synthesis. And indigenous ways you trust, you know there's only perfect timing. And it's often called Indian time.
Or African time.
Or African time, because they're in the flow. They're in the flow with the unified field and letting it speak. And they're acting accordingly. So just know there is no time. only perfect timing. So now the timing is up to
Wowza!
Wowza.
To
So
embody,
Wowza.
to bring these rather heady thoughts and ideas into our physical bodies and get us dancing them. Hello, Wowza.
Hi, everybody. Oh, excited this time. I want to say, I come more from the here and now than from the head. And I bless my history because of certain handicaps. I couldn't have the logic necessary. So I went more into the pre-verbal world. And I feel it is in the fluidity of being, this breathing, sounding, moving, forever energizing, conscious, loving universe that we're out of our head when we are tuned in to these energetics that is the creation of the world. And from the head, we need lots of techniques. We don't want to do away with it. And I have 4 ways to get out of that head. I don't want to say that. We appreciate you, head. We don't want to get rid of you necessarily, but today, how to silence that mind and come more into a creative right brain space in which we can then bring it back into the logic, into the analysis in a very unique way. So the creative right brain is a more fluid structure. We've gone through some of this before. I have to make it a little bigger for you to see it, but it's so subtle. It's like the eyes, you know, they can move to wherever we're going. The heart can come out high. You can see the rib cage moving and the knees bending. And so just for a moment with this, just let yourself feel like you are more fluid, more liquid than you are solid. And one way is letting your eyes, you know, just land on different things in the room and feel like your body could actually, and certainly your heart, travel wherever your eyes go. Now watch my spine for a moment, real quick. This is contrast teaching. I'm going to move my eyes around the room. Without life force, it can be a bit mechanical. And so the more we can bring in a little more fluidity, you're out of your head. Very interesting. Test it out. The more you are, when we've been taught straight, perfect, all of a sudden, there's not enough circulation going into the brain. So we have to think hard. So the second one is having much more play with the life force. There cannot be a perfect way to breathe. We're too large. As universal loving beings, we're entangled with all the breaths of the universe. So I'd like you to watch this. You know, when you doodle, you know, imagine a big butcher white paper in front. You know how you go and you just let yourself go and move around. Well, we're going to do it with life force, with audible life force. Oh, the universe loves this because the more diverse we are with the life force, the more possibilities of creative change we can make. The more I'm going to do 3 inhales and 3 exhales, and then I'll hold it for 2, is lovely at a certain point. But now we are much too grand. So watch just for a second. See, I'm just going to go with this audible breath. It's the breath. Can I hear it? And let your hand make that doodling, and let your whole body See your whole body. Wow. Yeah, now I can hear you. I couldn't hear you before. See, it's so fun. And you can doodle on your own body. You can just, and now turn it to a hum. Now everything can be hummed. You can just go into the superstructures of everything. You can go again into the grocery store. No one will hear you walking down the street. And this voice, and you're in the shower, in the car. Woo, woo, open up the floodgates of sound and feel your power come bursting out. Now, real quick, how do you take all of that and bring it back into English? Bring it back into here. Well, here and now. Now, left brain. Here and now, I am that I am.
I am that I am.
I
am that I am.
No.
We are the
Here
Oh,
and
we are.
now. Here and now. Here and now. Here and now. I am. Play. I am a million different ways. See, not just one way. I am that I am. Yeah, we can have more fun with our language, and it takes us out of habitual having to think before we speak and all of those trials. It takes the stress out of it, and this is the trust. Because as we get more fluid, as we play more, a little more with that creative right brain, there is the trust that we don't have to think at all. We just intend, right? And out flows this beautiful river. And it's a congruent river. And the more we're on that river, the more things flow. And we have a quiet brain. And we love you, brain. So,
Beautiful, wowza.
did that make sense?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
It makes wonderful non-left brain sense, and it feels good, which is, I think that's
and healthy, unbelievably healthy. Its circulation is health. And so these kinds of fluid movements with breath, sound, and energy, different energetics, I mean, exponentially open us bigger and wider and more fuller each time, each day playing this way. It's, you know, getting a youthfulness of spirit for sure.
That's beautiful.
And taking any affirmation, you know, all of the different affirmations I played with in your book is just so beautiful, you know, to bring, I mean, just even trust, you know, trust. We've gotten a little bit flatlined in the language, you know, in terms of you can barely hear much feeling. And now the world's getting smaller. So it makes sense to open up an expressive intelligence now. What I feel is the storehouse of natural genius. Yeah.
Yes, you bring so much to all this, into life. So much life to life, wowza.
Life to life. I know. See, I'm needing to come down. My energy just loves to fly high. So we all have favorites.
And it's catching. It's
catching, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
You know, Wowza, it makes me look forward to when we get to do this again live in person, in the body, in the room, in the woods, on the field, on the edge of the
Wouldn't
ocean.
that be fun? Oh my gosh. And to play with each other this way.
Yeah.
You know, where we can really be so much more free. Yeah, free in who we are. Well, we've got the trust now. I just think that is so incredible, you know, to really tap into something that we can trust. Yeah.
Mhm.
And as the old systems are collapsing now with the pandemic and with us going into our hearts and connecting globally, face to face and heart to heart on Zoom. But I think bringing in the body into this process is really important, because so much sitting, we're
Yeah.
sitting,
Yeah.
and for you to bring it in and really get us moving, so important in these times, and to embody this trust, embody the unified field, what information we're getting from the unified field, whatever it is, and bring it into the body and then into our choices. This is what's up. We have to choose to bring heaven on earth and peace on earth.
And this incredible new information coming in when we get a little clearer and free out of the way. You know, just that emergence of so much new information now is also very exciting.
Yeah, and the good of the whole
place. Huh?
Good of the whole.
Yeah.
This connection field, the good of the whole purpose and driving mission and understanding is that we are agents of a loving universe. And for us to bring that love through collectively into this collective connection field, so that we can piece the pieces of the puzzle together and see what wants to be birthed. That's this connection field and the good of the whole. It's very exciting for me, because that's my understanding of how it's going to come to pass. That's what I've known for decades, that this was what's going to happen and how it needed to come to pass, and to be a part of it here with you and with everyone here on the good of the whole is so exciting, to be boots on the ground. Okay, what is coming through? What new thing is coming through? Get out of your head, get into your heart and listen. And I've always said, listen, because the elders I knew, the visionary elders always said, listen.
Yeah.
So I listened.
The sound.
The key is to act on what you hear.
It's just like right now, you know, the refrigerator hum reminds me to tune in. Bird singing, see, I am the bird soaring across the sky. Why not? We are everything. We are, there is nothing.
You are the refrigerator.
We are not.
Keeping everything going.
Nothing, we are not. So we really are. I mean, I am the life force. You are the life force. That's the difference. And as the life force, not trying to do an exercise to breathe correctly. That's like really hard. But this is a piece of cake. Oh, wow.
And getting into the now and knowing that everything
Wow. The wow consciousness is the here and now. That's what I'm bringing through.
What'd you say?
I said the wow consciousness is the here and now.
Right.
It is all over the world. Don't have to know one meaning of that word. Not one anything. And it's completely understood to reveal revelation wherever it is. So the great wow wows everything, every emotion, every moment that has ever been expressed has somehow been wow.
And it's first cousin awe.
Oh, well, yeah, wow language is whoa, oh, way, yeah.
And awe.
All those beautiful.
Birth to the wow.
They are identical twins, darling.
They're identical twins, not first.
Yeah, I told you about the wow language, all the, you know, the 5 vowels, way, wee, why, whoa, woo. That's left brain talking, way, wee, why, whoa, woo. Right brain, whoa, 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 wee, wow, wow. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Everything in the universe can be run through that language. It is the quickest emotional release as from a universal place. Don't have to go into the past. You don't have to dig up a bunch of stuff. You can just open those vowels, make contact with a beautiful image, another human being, and wow, I see you in there. Yeah. Never before and never again. Wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. And that awe gives birth to that wow, right? The
Yeah.
awe of the magic.
All of it, you know. What could we would never do away with. See, that's the wideness of the energy. The awe is somewhere. Whoa, see, it's like deep, kind of guttural down into the air. Whoa, you can feel it, you know. Or the whoa, to the skies. The sky's the limit. You know, or the great, the power and strength. See how we can bring the tones through the language. And then quick as a wink, lighten up, drop into the Laughter does great too. Just going through the day laughing.
Yes,
Mm.
Wowza, your ageless vitality is showing through, my dear.
Yes.
At 83 years old.
83,
Amazing,
I like
amazing.
to show off with my age. It's fun.
You can.
Yeah.
Shall
But
we
it
see-
works. It works. It works.
Shall we check in on
Yeah.
the other members of the group and see if
Yeah.
any contributions or questions are lurking
I
out there?
didn't see anybody, but
If anybody would like to unmute themselves and come in and say hello, we'd like that. Don't have to.
No, not necessary. So we can carry on. Yeah, so next week we'll be doing our 8th assumption, which is all of creation is one. Separation is a man-made illusion. So as we put together this construct on the nature of the universe, it's really a toolkit for being able to absolutely trust a conscious, loving, abundant universe. And it takes us into a higher frequency where the laws are expanded and there's more beauty and balance and joy and abundance than we can fathom with our current understanding that we came to through a paradigm, a scientific paradigm from a lower frequency. And the scientific paradigm is shifting now, and more discoveries are being made about the nature of the universe that are confirming this trust frequency construct. It's very exciting. Jude Caravan, we're a part of a call with her. She's a leading edge physicist. And she said it is the science of love. Physics, the new physics, the unified physics, the whole world view is how she calls it. And so it's just very exciting that this time is coming when the science and the vision, the knowing, our true nature.
Real brief, she was on a call too that I was on, and she mentioned that she came from a mystical space as a child. And nothing was known about this. And she thought, well, maybe I'm crazy. And it just kept leading her. And so she got into all the physics and everything else to basically not just prove, but to bridge this early connection with the mystical. So I just think that's fascinating. Again, how the universe guides us, leads us to our deepest heart's desire. And sometimes it doesn't make any sense at all. You know, I again, bless my history. I wouldn't be doing the work I'm doing. I don't think I'd have the energy that unless I had to lose my childhood, lose my body in complete holding patterns of shyness and inhibition, and teaching myself how to be free again and play and be alive. So it has meaning for me, personal meaning. And like, I felt that that's what I got from her too. And you, see, we have histories that have moved us into these ways that have just said, here, take a look. Oh, you are so much larger, so much more beautiful and radiant. And all the energy of the universe exists in every cell of your body. Oh my gosh, we haven't even begun. Why 8? I mean, see, it doesn't make sense. See, the debilitating effects of aging, actually, we don't need to do that. We can choose to go to another dimension, but wow, it's so cool to feel yourself getting more fluid, more flexible, adaptable with each passing year with this work.
And one of the elders that I knew, who's gone now, Wallace Blackout, he said, live, die, we made it up.
Yeah, right.
Okay. And the Bible talks about everlasting life.
Mhm.
So, I've been just piecing these pieces together. Okay, we made up live, die. And here's this talk of everlasting life. And he also said, those who are dead will come alive again.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. There was a while there where I died each day as a practice. I just drained all the energy. I just drained all the energy out of my body, and I just consciously, so that I could work with seniors and really show in 1 second, whoosh, you're there. There is no incremental step by step. It can be instantaneous with these kinds of practices.
beautiful, yes.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so ultimately it's about trust and
Mhm.
in the now, trusting the unknown. To get
Mm.
into the now, one has to trust the unknown and go where the brave dare not go.
We're fools here to tread.
Yeah. And that's what old Don Quixote was all about.
Yeah.
To dream the impossible dream. Well, it's not an impossible dream in a higher frequency. It's
No,
only
it's
impossible
different.
from
Different
here
world. Yeah.
in this frequency.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
we can dream the possible dream because everything is possible.
And it's so fun to have pals to play with, that are on the same frequency, that are on the same wavelength, right?
Yes, and
Like,
that's
oh my gosh, we can create with 3 brains, 5 brains, thousands in this field.
in this good of the whole connection.
Ooh, yeah.
It's very exciting to be here with all these folks. And now we get to hand it over to John Brockett, who is going to be doing the men's group.
Here he is. Hello, John.
We've been having some fun in the now.
Well, you know what? I was just listening for a few minutes. It sounds like really fun energy that you guys have created here.
Well,
Of
yeah,
course, with Wowza, what do you expect?
exactly.
Exactly.
Brings in the joy.
Oh, what are you talking about? Oh, whoa.
Oh,
Fun to play.
So thank you, John.
So thanks everybody. Thanks everybody on Facebook, and thanks everybody on Zoom. This is very special, especially thanks to the good of the whole, the connection field, and to Shelley and John, and amazing things unfolding as we speak. Wow, wow, and
Wow. We'll leave it with wow.
Yeah.
That's
well, it only got better when you came on and became part of us. So I want to say that.
Oh.
Oh, thank you. So let's all end with a wow. John, give us a wow.
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 Oh,
There we went.
Beautiful. So Connie, you got to take us off of Facebook, though. I think you need to do that.
Oh, we're not the host. You are.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let me see if I
Our
can do that.
connection field is
Connection
Shelley.
Good to the Hole is already host, so we.
Oh,
don't-
go to the hole is host.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm not the host. Go to
So
the
Shelley-
hole.
So we can't hand it to you, John.
Can we just turn it off?
I'm trying to figure out how to do
Right
that.
off?
I'll have to ask Shelley how to do it. I've never done it.
What
So
if we go to
here's-
live up there and click, or can we do nothing from
We
our end?
can't,
We're
we're
not
not
the
a
host.
host.
I've got to go.
Okay,
Okay,
bye.
You can click off,
Bye, darling.
and we can just kind of get through this in a good way and trust the loving
We
universe.
could probably just leave the meeting and you
I
guys
guess we'll just,
continue.
I know, but it's live on Facebook on our,
Okay,
our
hold
show.
on 1 second.
So everybody, we'll just carry on. Do you have anything more to say about being in the now?
I'm too in
Andrew?
and out of me.
You two in the now?
I'm speechless.
And our next assumption is there is only one. Separation is a man-made illusion. When we come into an understanding and getting our oneness, which is what I understand is what's up, is that veil that separates us from our understanding of the oneness is thinning. And as we get the fact that we are one with all of creation, we will lay down the weapons of war, because it's absurd to be fighting ourselves.
There you go.
And so peace will come to prevail on earth.
Thanks, Connie.
It'll be a given as that veil that's separating us from each other thins and goes away. And we celebrate our magnificent diversity in our oneness. Goodness knows what's going to happen when we all get to that spot of peace on earth and heaven on earth through our understanding that it's an abundant universe in a higher frequency. And then there's nothing to fight over. So we're one and there's nothing to fight over because we have more than we can fathom.
That deserves a big wow.
Wow.
Wow. All right,
That's
John.
my reality.
Okay, so, you guys cannot, you're not the host, so you can't make me the host.
Right.
No, so I'm just carrying on because we're
Uh,
on Facebook Live and
No, this is crazy.
we are one.
Well,
We are the conscious, loving universe.
this is crazy because it won't let me.
Let him figure it out.
All right, well, we might have to just keep doing it until,
You can
Where's
just
Shelley?
segue into the men's group then. Yeah.
yeah, we'll start on that.
And then,
Thank
Okay.
you, guys.
all right, so we'll get off and
Thank you, folks. Appreciate it a lot.
we are one with you guys. We love you.
Okay. Love you too.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Okay, man.
Sorry about you. They're not the host. They can't make me the host. Go to the hole with the host. So I can on Facebook go or what? I am so sorry. No, they were never the host. Well, if they were, they turned it off. Technology.
Technology. Love it.
Technology. Hello, Ken Evans.
Good evening. How are we doing tonight?
Well, we're doing well and we're going to get better.
I hope so. I do too.
Yeah.
I hope I'm going to get better too.
We're going to make sure of that, Ken. Look at these fine gentlemen and this beautiful woman. I mean, what more could you want?
That's it. I'm not leaving. Facebook Live, Men in Connection. Come and join them in the Zoom room.